Spencer Davies, Cavs Insider. That was a back and forth one. How do you feel like your guys ended up answering that bell in the second half? Clearly different defensive effort, and you guys got things going offensively.
Yeah, I think that's what it came down to. You go back and just as we talking about as coaches, like we played well in the first half, we just didn't make a shot. We had, I think our first 10 baskets were assisted baskets. We were moving the ball, we were creating for one another. Shots just weren't falling. The second quarter we held them to 17 points, so we did what we do defensively. But just as the game progressed, we started making some shots. It paid off, and that's one of the things that this group is like they believe in what they're doing. So no one felt like they had to change and do something different because shots weren't going. So they just continued to play the right way, continued to create for one another, and then score 37 points in the fourth quarter to win a game.
And you needed it as a team, but as a coach, how nice is it to see DG come up with the big plays he did in the last minute? He had the 3 at the buzzer, and then he obviously made a huge play on Kobe to force the turnover.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, the games, the deeper we get, the tighter they are. Your playmakers, your stars are going to have to be stars. And being able to have a guy like Darius in the fourth quarter who can create his own shot and make tough shots, again, it just makes defenses have to make tough decisions. Now their matchups are different, who they're going to guard, where they're going to play the pick and roll, all those things, because there's multiple guys out there that can beat them and make those plays. So it's great to have him back and finally be able to get him in a closing lineup also.
Dara. JB, what can you say about the defensive effort he got from Isaac tonight? And obviously he was big on the offensive end, but just having him go against the Rose.
Yeah, Isaac was awesome. I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what he does every single day because he doesn't change. No matter the circumstances, no matter what's in front of him, he's the same person every single day. He's the same competitor every single day. He's an unbelievable teammate that's willing to do whatever the team asks him to do on any single given night. He works his tail off every single day. Like you see the impact that it's had on his game, and he's just continued to take steps regardless of what people say about him. They want to talk about his limitations. Like he finds what it is and he works his tail off on it, and he continues to get better and better. So Isaac was awesome. Again, it's you get kind of accustomed to it, but as you think about it, like he's very special and means so much to our team.
Evan hit another 3 for you tonight. I know that's been a point of emphasis, but he also made some shots off movement. Just if he's able to really hone in and refine those aspects of his game, what kind of a weapon is he going to be?
I think he's going to be, what we all expect him to be, But what I want to make sure that, with Evan is like he's not just one-dimensional. And so many of us want to highlight scoring. That's not Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is a complete basketball player. He makes the right play. Like, I've said this before, he could be the most impactful player on the floor and score 6 points. That's how good Evan Mobley is. And I think that's what we need to focus on and appreciate, that. The shot making, all that stuff, don't get me wrong, it's part of his game. But he can dominate games in so many different ways, and that's the player that we want him to be.
Last one, Jason.
What are you most surprised by in this big picture first half? Is there anything that stands out to you? What you're most surprised or pleased by?
Most pleased is just how this group has come together. It's again starting in training camp and the beginning of the season and all that stuff. It was bumpy, but throw the injuries in and later in the season, but the guys never found a way to jump off the boat. Regardless of what was happening on the outside and what was being said, guys showed up every single day committed to working and figured it out. What Cavs hoops is and how we play it and how we're different than other places. And they just continue to buy into each other and just watching them, embrace each other's successes. Like tonight, it was a different lineup to finish the game, right? But they were cheering Isaac on when he was in. So it's going to be your night, but when it's not, they keep pulling for one another. So all those things are, what I'm most pleased with, and I'm excited about the future with this group.
This is probably more of a pregame question, but sorry.
I mean, just teams they got tough choices to make. You know, Max plays at such a speed that when the defenders are coming together at that speed, you got to make a decision, and then you're making a decision on what you're going to do when Donovan Mitchell has the ball in his hands, typically, right? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know, teams don't want to switch it because they like the matchups that they have, but at that force and that speed, you know, you can't get in a position to put 2 on the ball or try to contain the ball because Max is flying out of there. He's going to be wide open, or Donovan's going to have angles to drive to the basket. So I think it's the pace and the skill set of the 2 guys that are involved in it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, JB. There's one more for Bob.
Is minute restrictions over now for Evan and Darius?
We'll always monitor it, and I'll talk to our, training staff about it, and our front office group as well. It's something, you know, I mean, like Darius's situation is just a little bit different because it wasn't a, you know, lower limb or injury, but we'll always monitor with Evan what it is and try not to run him into the ground.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank y'all. Have a good